Life went on as normal in the Kurdish city of Halabia in northern Iraq. The Iran-Iraq War had been raging for nearly 10 years. But here in Halabja, there had been no war for quite some time. The markets were bustling. Children played in the streets. Mothers prepared meals in their homes. It was a normal day in a city that had known anything but normality for a decade. Then suddenly, around 4 p.m., sirens wailed through the city. Explosions rocked the ground. People poured out of their homes into the streets, choking on the smoke. Strange white gas was spreading across the city, carried on the wind, seeping through cracks in buildings, seeping through cracks in doors, mixing with the dust of 1,000 bombed-out buildings, and settling over Halabja like a shroud. People fell to the ground, screaming, clawing at their eyes, unable to breathe. Homes became tombs. Families fell victim. When the sun rose the following morning, it revealed a city of the dead. More than 5,000 Kurdish civilians lay dead in their homes, most of them women and children. Tens of thousands more had been injured. This was one of the largest chemical attacks ever directed at a civilian population. In the aftermath, the world was shocked by haunting images from the city. Children were found frozen in their parents' arms. Entire families lay dead in their homes, victims of the deadly gases dropped on the city by Iraqi fighter jets. Those gases, a mixture of deadly chemicals, including mustard gas and cyanide, had been designed to burn flesh and ignite the lungs. Survivors who had somehow managed to escape the initial blast and the poisonous gas were now dying horrific slow deaths. The massacre became a symbol of the brutal repression faced by the Kurdish population at the hands of Saddam. And it remains one of the most traumatic episodes in Iraqi history. In the immediate aftermath, the Iraqi government tried to cover up its crime. Hospitals were ransacked for evidence. Doctors were threatened and bribed. But news of the attack still leaked out. The international community demanded an investigation. And in the years that followed, survivors and international courts sought justice. In 2015, a survivor told the BBC, "I will never forget that smell. As soon as I smell something like that, I feel the same terror. My whole body trembles. I fall to the ground. I can't breathe. My heart beats very fast. I feel I'm going to die." In 2017, 2 former Iraqi Air Force generals were convicted in absentia of war crimes and crimes against humanity for their role in planning and executing the attack. One was sentenced to life in prison, the other to 15 years. Neither man has ever been caught. Back today, the story of Halabja is remembered through a new generation of activists. In 2018, a young woman named Zina Cameron returned to Halabja to learn about the attack. Her grandmother, along with thousands of other survivors, had been too afraid to speak about what happened. But Zina wanted to know the truth. "When the elders are gone, we don't want this story to be forgotten," she said. "That's why we tell it through our art, through our music and our poetry. We keep telling the story until the perpetrators are brought to justice. And the story goes beyond Halabja. It's part of a legacy of chemical weapons use that continues to haunt the Middle East to this day. But why does this story matter? Why should you care about a crime committed so long ago? Because while the world stood by watching this horror unfold in 1988, it did little to stop it. And because in the decades since, similar crimes have continued to go unpunished. As we look back on the massacre of Halabja, let us remember that when we remain silent in the face of injustice, when we allow hatred and prejudice to go unchecked, when we turn away from the suffering of others, we are not making the world a better place. We are only giving hate and injustice time to grow. Silence does not erase crimes, it repeats them.